Hey everybody, Tom Foster here at Foster Web Marketing, and today we're talking about an interesting subject, local SEO, and I've got Zach and Gina here with us today. And they do SEO for Foster Web Marketing along with some other people, but I grabbed them and I wanted to have a quick conversation about this topic, local SEO. So Zach, what is local SEO?
Local SEO is the process of optimizing and claiming your local profiles for Google, Yahoo, and Bing. There's a lot that goes into it, but the whole process together is considered SEO. There's updating and claiming your local citations, optimizing your profile page, and creating a great review strategy.
And citations. So Gina, what are citations? Because we throw that out there. You got to make sure all your citations are right. What are those things?
Citations are really important for local SEO. Citation would be any time that you're listed on Yelp or the profiles you just mentioned, Google, Bing, Yahoo. There's a bunch of them. Anytime they list your business name, your location, address, phone number, that's what's considered to be a local citation.
And those can be on multiple websites. There's like 400 citation websites, and Google and Bing and Yahoo, those are just the main three that we talk about. Yeah. But those use these other websites to make sure that you're right. That's why they're called citations. And where a lot of people trip up is that they have different phone numbers or different addresses, and it may just be a simple spelling error in the address, or a suite name being spelled out differently will mess up the citation, right?
Yeah, what we see a lot of is not having the correct business name across the citations. That'll add to having an error if you're listed that way, or having different phone numbers, having your toll-free number listed instead of your actual office number contributes to having a complete citation with consistent information. That's what we really go in and look at and try to fix.
It's a maintenance issue.
Yeah, and consistency is key. They want to make sure, they want to verify that you are the business that you say you are, and you're at the location you say you are. And having a local phone number is really important. It's actually an indicator to those search engines that you're in that location, as opposed to using a toll-free tracking number, and will help increase your visibility for those local keywords that trigger these local search results.
And so we're getting a little granular already, but I mean, it's important to understand that it's really, and just to back up too about the maintenance issue, some of these websites just go out there and get their own data without you being involved, and that's really what it is, right?
Most do. They pull from other websites, so stuff can get messy really quickly. If you're listed wrong in one location, the chances of you being listed wrong in another location increase. We want to make sure every time we're finding those kind of errors, we're addressing them immediately to help just, create that consistency across. It's really time consuming, so that's another issue that I think a lot of clients have, doing it on their own and going in and taking the time to optimize a profile and claim it and then change any errors in it.
And it's not very fun.
It's
not.
It's exciting when it's done.
When it works. Right. Okay, so why is local SEO important? Why is it important?
Well, it's a great way to bring in targeted traffic to your website. If someone's in the location that you're serving or searching for the location that you serve, then it's a great way to bring in that traffic, and they're already in that location or looking for that location, so they're really qualified to be on your website and your business's profile.
Specifically with our clients, a lot of people that need attorney services are looking for attorneys that are in their area. So even if it's a longer tail keyword they're searching for, most likely they're going to be including a city or state towards the end or beginning of it, and that increases their chances of being listed for those certain terms. So it's important to have your local SEO fully optimized. And
it's also like a welcome mat. When you show up in search results for Google and you have your local profile, if you don't have any pictures, you don't only have one category and it says lawyer, it's not very specific, and you don't have a unique description or any reviews, people are going to think that your business is not very legitimate, and it's not a great way to welcome them and have that be your first impression.
It's another thing to think about. And it's interesting because a lot of what the search engines do is that they're forcing people to go down a certain funnel when they start a search. They want you to go into these certain search words, these keywords, as you can see, as we all know, either to get pay-per-click or to focus you on this local area. And what a lot of clients don't understand is that 30% of at least now and growing, by the time somebody could watch this in a few months, it'll be 40, 50%, I'm sure, is going to their local profile or a local profile where it might have gone to them organically before. It's a different section. Local SEO is a different section than organic SEO or pay-per-click. So a lot of people don't understand that, but it's very important.
Yep.
So let's talk about what else it does. It also has your reviews in there, right?
Yeah.
So,
and that's a great way to let people know how you handle business. If you're having a bunch of really great reviews, people are more likely to want to go to your business and interact with you. If you have a lot of negative reviews, then it's going to obviously portray how the business is run. So it's a great way to make a good first impression, and making sure that you're monitoring those reviews is really important, because if you have a bad review, it could send a lot of people away before they even get to your website.
It's increasing your credibility just across the web and showing trust in you as an attorney.
yeah, and other people have reviews. Your competitor, if your competitor has 10 good reviews and you have one good one or zero, who's going to win? That's just, and they don't know you from Adam. That they only can rely on reviews, and people that go to search engines are a lot smarter than they used to be when this whole game first started, and they are double, triple, and triple checking you everywhere.
Yeah, and the way you go about getting the reviews is also important. That's why Zach mentioned review strategy earlier, creating a good review strategy to ask your previous customers or clients to go in and write those reviews for you across the different locations, not just building up on one, but having all of the different Google, Bing, Yahoo profiles, including.
Reviews are important, and it's not just the reviews on Google, which is notorious for just like, hey, I had 30 reviews and now I have 5, and there's no complaint department you can call there.
Yeah, it's
So
all
you
about
spread the wealth.
Yeah, it's got to come naturally. They know that people are going to go to different review websites and choose which ones they like the most. So you want to make sure that if you're going to take the time to create a review strategy, it has to be naturally spread out all different platforms: Google, Yelp, Avo. There's a lot of different places, especially for lawyers, to go to make sure that you're getting those reviews on a multitude of different websites, not just one. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to a review strategy.
Also, with the review strategy, that enables you to not just have everyone go to, say, Google, because then Google could flag you as having incorrect reviews, and obviously you're just sending people there to write about you. So you want to spread them out for that reason too, so it doesn't look unnatural and just like you're going to one spot.
Yeah, you want to be organic and holistic, and really get reviews and let people leave you a review where they want to leave you a review. It's just got to be real, not contrived. I'm an attorney and I've had a website for 10 years, and I keep getting hit with all these new things that come down. So what can I do to improve my local presence or my local SEO presence?
There's a lot of different things. The first thing that I notice a lot is people want to use tracking numbers to track those who are coming through a different search vertical. So making sure that your local profile actually has your local phone number is really important ranking indicator to Google and other search engines that say this business actually is in this location. It's not just an arbitrary 1-800 number. It's actually specific to that location, that town, that county. So doing that is a really important way to help improve your rankings for that specific area.
If you have multiple office locations, making sure that you're creating profiles for each office location is really important. But you want them to have, obviously, staff members in them and be real office locations that you serve customers at, hopefully Monday through Friday. But making sure you're covering all of those as well will help spread your visibility for other areas as well that you might want to target.
Yeah, and the point is, don't try to fake it. Those days are over of like just setting up an office in another city and not manning it just to grab clients from your competitors. If you're going to do that, fine, but staff it and have it be a real office that you go to. That's the whole point of what Google's trying to do, is stop all the tricking and the cheating.
Yeah, and the other thing is making sure your content's localized. If you don't speak to your specific area on your website, then you're not going to look as relevant for those certain search phrases. So it's not just your profile, but also your on-page optimization efforts, along with those local citations that they're going and pulling information from. So it's consistency, it's localization, and it's making sure that you're doing everything right and holistically, like you said.
And it's not a one-time event.
No, it's an ongoing process of claiming, optimizing, making sure nothing changes. You'll have duplicate profiles that will show up because you have these other addresses out there, phone numbers, business names. It might not be you that are creating these listings. You got to remember that other people are creating these listings for businesses. So they might not know exactly how your business name is supposed to be spelled out. So that can create a duplicate listing, which isn't putting people in the right place, and it'll actually look worse for you if you have more than one listing.
Yeah. Okay, so that brings me to the next question that I have. So Gina, what tips can you give me and other professionals out there about what to do, what not to do? What are some great things?
Okay, I would start with doing a Yext scan. Yext is a free tool. It's also paid. So I would go in and it shows you, it looks at I think around 39 or 42 different citation places that your business might be listed in, and you can see any discrepancies or errors that it's pulling. So inconsistent business name, address, phone number, and you can see where you might not be listed. So starting out there, as well as making sure that you've claimed and verified your Google, Bing, and Yahoo Places profile. That process might take a little bit of time and be frustrating because you have to submit and then get a PIN and then verify it, but once you do, you can optimize it fully and clear up any sort of issues and make sure that you're targeting exactly who you want to target. And then once you've done that once, hopefully you can really get the ball rolling. And
You have to do that for every office location, though. And patience is critical here in getting all this done and working with someone that knows what they're doing. Otherwise, you could really hose yourself if you're not careful. What are some other tips, Zach?
Something I run into a lot is categories. People usually just choose attorney. There's actually a lot of specific categories that you can choose in Google, Yahoo, and Bing. And not forgetting about all three of those. Those are the three major search engines. Make sure you're optimizing and claiming those profiles as well, not just Google. But the categories can actually help improve the amount of keywords you're showing up for because they'll see you're more relevant. So choose as many that make sense. Don't go overboard. If you're not a franchise lawyer, don't choose franchise law. But you want to make sure that you're getting really specific to exactly what categories you fall under.
And having a complete profile, including pictures, including a description that makes sense. I've seen a lot of clients where they just have keywords in the description area because they think that'll help rank them for those certain keywords, but that's not what you want to do. You want to make it real and have, a good description in there.
And those pictures will actually help the click-through rate. People will see those pictures, they'll be more inclined to click on your website because they see something nice. It's not just like a blank canvas. So that can actually help improve the amount of referral traffic you get from these profiles.
Here's a trick question. I always like to throw in a trick question. How do I know how well my local profile is working? Do I see it in analytics? Where do I see the data about visitors coming to my local profile? How do I know?
Well, there is a dashboard when you claim your business that will show you the impressions as well as the clicks that you get on your website. It's not always accurate, so it's not 100%. That's where the trick question comes in.
Are you saying that Google is not 100% accurate all the time?
Yeah, so it's
Who knows?
it's very hard to determine whether it's accurate. So another way to do it is look at your referrals. You'll actually see referral traffic from maps.google.com if you're getting them from the map search. But if it's within regular search, you might also see a referral from Google Plus.
Yeah, and that's assuming that they're going back to your website, though. But they might just pick up the phone and as they're looking at your local profile.
Mm-hmm.
Another way to make sure that you're doing well and see the improvement is you'll actually start to appear more in search engines for different terms or different search queries. The higher credibility your profile gets, it won't just be one or two times you'll see it, it'll start appearing more and more.
That's a good point. And, it comes down to the fact that Google is very focused on local search. and because they know that's where a lot of money is in local businesses. And advertising for local business has kind of dried up in the recent years, a lot thanks to search. And Google wants that business. And so it is forcing consumers and businesses to be using local search. So don't ignore it. And we've told you a lot of good tips here today about it. It's not that difficult to do better in local search by just following the simple tips that you guys put forth today. And it can make a big difference. I mean, tell me some other quick little things about what I can do on the profile page to make it more robust. And then, can you give me an example of a fantastic local page that we can show our viewers?
Oh, wow. Okay. I think a great way to improve your local profile is the unique description. It's something people are going to read, and making sure that you're speaking to them and in a way that's going to attract them to click on your website is really important. You don't want to, like Gina said, just add a bunch of keywords that don't make sense. You want it to be really natural. One tip that I like to tell people is that you only have 200 characters in this description for Google. Don't include your business name in that description because you're wasting that. They see it very big across the top, so don't spend the time.
Wait, welcome to the law firm. We've been in, we're 136 years. And
yeah,
Right.
It's best to just
more
get
about
into
the
it,
person, right?
Get to the crux of the description.
Gina, you have anything else to add?
You can also connect your Google local profile with your Google business page if you have one, and that'll make both of them more complete. So I recommend doing that when possible. That'll allow you to change the cover photo of your Google Places profile and just show, obviously, you are who you say you are, consistency, and having more areas to have your website.
It's very complicated, gang. There's a lot of things going on out there, and you need to be doing all of them. We don't make up the rules, we just report them, right? So fortunately, we have lots of smart people that we're always getting and learning from ourselves to be the very best marketers for you guys. Any questions about local SEO or any of that, give us a call. We're here to serve you and make you better marketers yourself. Thanks, Gina. Thanks, Zach. Always a pleasure. Take care, everybody.